This year, I set an ambitious task of reading 100 books. The previous year, I had read a book a week, and as I'm already an avid reader, I thought pushing myself with this challenge would be very plausible. However, not only did I not reach my target, but I actually read less books than I did last year. And here's why. I began the year with the same wide-eyed and unashamedly positive attitude that this year would be my year. I would read 100 books, I would become a more well-read and intelligent person, and I would stop saying silly things or putting my foot in my mouth every time I opened it. But 2022 had different plans for me. It was one of the most emotionally draining and difficult years of my life, having massive highs and catastrophic lows. Okay, so today is actually Friday rather than Thursday because I went to my friend's funeral yesterday, so I didn't really want to film. Understandably. And I found that once I had finished a book that totally enthralled me, no book could ever measure up to the way I had been utterly absorbed into this other world. I mourned the loss of those characters, that life, and that world I was no longer a part of. It became harder and harder to concentrate on even the most beautifully written words when life felt a little overwhelming. If you're watching this and you've been watching my channel for a while, you're probably no stranger to the emotional roller coaster that I've been on waiting for my visa to finally end the long distance my partner and I have shared for the past 8 years. And it's only now that we're together and settled in our first home that the reality of this whole process has really been unveiled. We read stories to envelop ourselves in the lives and minds of others. We need these words to escape a reality that may not be serving us, or to better understand the experiences of those we'll never meet. The excitement that we get from opening a new book and glancing along the words of that first page whispers at the adventure we're about to embark on. I love reading, but this year my brain just completely shut off its ability to concentrate. And I found that something I usually use as an escape was no longer accessible to me. But recently, things have changed. I may not have reached this arbitrary goal I set for myself, but I have started to read again, and a lot. Finishing 5 books in the past couple of weeks, I get to live another person's life for a few days or a week. I get to experience the highs of completing an epic adventure, learn how trees communicate with one another through an underground fungi system, and how another 30-something woman experiences living in London. When a story has truly captivated me, every spare moment is used to read a few pages. I recently read Ghosts by Dolly Alderton, The Shining, Heaven, The Book Thief, and I'm currently reading A Gentleman in Moscow. I also wanted to take a moment to apologise for talking about a book in one of my previous Vlogmas episodes, All the Broken Places, because of its problematic nature. Having learned of the impact of this book, it's not one that I would want to promote or talk about, so I wanted to apologise for that. And I also wanted to thank those of you who commented and took the time to educate me on why this book is problematic. This highlighted to me the need for more due diligence before we read a book, a little bit more research in understanding not only what is being told in these stories, but who is telling the story and from whose perspective are we learning from. These past few days of videos have also made me really think about the stories I tell, online, to myself, to my friends and family. It got me to thinking about resolutions and goals. Every year I tell myself the same story. This year will be different, this year will be my year. Am I just fooling myself, or is this the kind of innocent hope that we need to truly believe that we will achieve these resolutions or intentions that we set for ourselves at this perfect moment where the slate is wiped clean at the stroke of midnight? I'm not sure, but I like that hope. I like believing that I'm capable of achieving more, even if that's by doing less. I'm intrigued to see where these next few stories take me, whether I'll make resolutions or not. Or maybe I'll just dive into the next year with excitement and energy and just see where my story takes me. So our plans this year are to go to his family in Michigan for Christmas. We're going to be there for about 6 or 7 days, and he's going to be working for some of those days because Americans really don't get much time off at all. So I'm going to try and read as much as possible before the end of the year. I'm definitely not going to have reached my goal. I think I will only have reached about 25 books for this year, which is a far cry from the goal at the beginning of the year, but that's not really what matters. All of these goals are so arbitrary, and it's just something to keep us motivated to keep going with certain tasks, or to remind us of the things that really we put a lot of value into, and just keeps us going in a way. For some people that's probably not the case. For me it definitely is. It acts as a reminder, as reading is something I really love to do. It takes me away from, you know, watching, I don't know, TV that I'm not particularly interested in. We actually don't have a TV, which has been very helpful in being able to do a lot of reading. But yeah, this year has been really just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to next year when we're just settled. Hopefully nothing too bad happens and just stand still for a while. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading over Christmas. So if you have any book recommendations, please let me know in the comments, because yeah, I'm gonna be reading a lot over Christmas. I'm really hoping to read like a book every 2 days. So I'd love to hear what you're reading at the moment, what your recommendations are. I hope you enjoyed your day. I'm quite tired today, so I'm looking forward to having an early night, reading my book and just chilling out. So I'll see you tomorrow.